Hi there. Today I'm going to tie a small baitfish for the Danish sea trout, or for sea trouts anywhere around the world. This is an imitation of a goby, which is a small fish that lives around the coastline of most of Europe, I guess. Today we're going to use some mink body, which I'm going to cut into a sunger strip, and then we're going to use some SLF squirrel dubbing, some marabou in sculpin olive, and then one of these pretty neat, cool new pro soft heads, which is instead of applying glue, you can just add one of these, and then your everything is fine. Okay. First of all, I'm gonna make, I've cheated a little and then started out by applying some thread and then some lead wire to give this fly a bit of weight. Then I'm gonna make a small bundle of thread down here, and this I'm doing because when I tie this sunger strip down, I want it really to stick there. It's quite easy to make to cut your own sunger strips. You just take a sharp blade, like a scalpel or something like that, and then you cut quite slowly and easily without applying too much pressure. You cut the right size of width strand of skin with the hair still attached to it that you want. And I've done that and prepared this a bit. So this is my wing for the fly, and I'm gonna tie this in by taking and then pulling some of the hairs back and leaving others pointing backwards, like that. So you see now I have divided the hairs into two, and I've done that roughly and exactly the same spot on the strip of skin, like that. On the strip of leather, you could say also, I think. Then I'm just applying 1, 2, 3 light rounds of thread, and then I'm applying a bit more pressure, like that. Then you can see this strip is now thoroughly attached to the hook, because it had quite a large base to be on in the first place. Then I'm gonna turn this around, flip it over the backside like that, and just fasten the lead wire like that. And then I'm gonna apply some dubbing. This is gonna be the underside of this fly. So I'm applying that to the thread quite loosely, so I can brush it out a bit when I'm almost done, like that. And make sure to tie it all the way back so you cover that base of thread. It doesn't have any practical meaning, but it still makes the fly looks better, like that. Adding a bit more of this dubbing. This squirrel dubbing is nice because it has a lot of different lengths of hairs in it, which makes it come alive in the water and look very good in the water, like that, almost all the way up here. Good. So I have about roughly 1 or 2 millimeters or something like that. And if you look carefully, you can see that I've cut this skin strip into a point. And this is because when I tie this down, it's easier to tie down a point up here and still get a good looking head than it is just to tie the entire string of skin of fur down. So as you can see, I have maybe made this a bit too small, but I think I'll manage. Now the trick is to catch the end of this with your tying thread. Come on. God damn. and way, I managed. Like that. I'm just gonna have a quick peek at it at the other side. And then you have this very, very lively wing made from mink. Like that. Just gonna tie a bit further behind to be sure that this is actually where I want it to be. And then I'm gonna apply a little dubbing. Kind of make us a small head up here. Only a small amount now, because then I'm gonna take some marabou. I'm gonna take this, and this is Volibugger marabou in the color Sculpin Olive, which is a very good color for this pattern. And these are gonna be imitating the fins. So I'm taking quite a lot of that. Actually, I made a mistake. This dubbing is not supposed to go on here yet. So I'm really sorry about that. Well, like that, and then take this dubbing and place it so it's roughly around half the way back, or not, maybe not quite half the way back over this fly, like that. Make a loose turn of the thread, 2 loose turns of the thread, like that, and then cut all this off. Cut all this leftover marabou off. Tie it down using your thread. And since we're gonna make a small head with the dubbing right now, it doesn't matter that if you have a bit of a bright looking fly with a very large head now, because it's gonna be covered in dubbing in a second, like that. I think I'm gonna apply a bit more marabou to this fly. I need a bit more marabou. And I need it mainly on top of the fly, like that. Cutting the leftover off. I need to cut this a bit more cleanly off, I think. Like so. And this looks, wow, I need to cut some on your side as well, I can see. Like that, and then I'm gonna apply the dubbing. Applying the dubbing to the thread, and then creating this small head in front of the fly. And here is the part where you have to watch what you're doing, because you have to make this head of the dubbing in the exact correct size for your Pro Soft head to fit. Or if you don't have the Pro Soft head, you can use some UV curing glue, like a clear Q glue or something like that. That works quite well as well. Also, so I'm pretty happy with the results now. So I'm taking my thread all the way up to the front of the fly, like that, making a whip finish. If I can manage that. And I can see here that I did a pretty messy job of cutting off all the marabou. I'm sorry for that, but it won't affect the outcome of the fly. It will still look good because I have this lifesaver, this small pro soft head that will make this fly look like $1,000,000 for me. Like that. And then just to add some effect, you can just take a bit of saliva and make your fly a bit more streamlined, like that. Of course, you need to glue this on here. So I'm gonna take some super glue and just apply a very small amount of super glue to the top of my dubbing head, like that. Apply the soft head. And you are ready to go sea trout fishing with a small goby pattern. This is also fairly easy, I think, to make, and it looks very good both in the water and also in your fly box. These pro soft heads are very, very neat. I like them very much. I use them as often as I get the chance. So, a small goby, the pro goby we could call this fly.